Hey, what's up guys? Coach John with Steadfast Barbell, back with episode number 2, follow up to episode 1, the warm-up. Today's focus is on the cool down. This is easily your best opportunity to increase range of motion, flexibility, and you don't want to waste this opportunity. Make sure you carve out 15 to 20 minutes after each session to get some of this work. And we're just going to go over some real basic things today, some basic modalities, some basic stretches that is going to, in time, increase your range of motion and allow you to get in better positions, thus becoming more successful lifting heavier loads. All right guys, I'm joined by my good friend Chris Peabody to help demonstrate these next couple of stretches that we're gonna get into. So first and foremost, we're gonna focus on the shoulders and that overhead archetype. Okay, we're gonna take this lacrosse ball and Chris is going to push into this, into the wall, really get into the pec, the deltoid, softening up that tissue, breaking up any tight spots, and this is really gonna help in time him to keep his shoulders back into place and improve that overhead range of motion. Very critical to what we do in here. So as you can see, he's gonna place that ball against the wall. Now he's gonna press into it and be really aggressive here, okay? If you find a tight spot that's like, wow, that hurts, good, stay there. That's what we need. That's what we need to work out, okay? After about a minute on each side, remember, we gotta do both sides, right? He's now gonna get a good stretch. So he's gonna get his forearm up on the squat rack here. Chris, I'd like to see your elbow a little bit higher than your shoulder. Good. Now he's going to stretch. He's gonna push through and tighten that tummy. We don't wanna overextend that lower back. Now he's just gonna simply stretch. 30 seconds to a minute here on each side should be sufficient. Okay guys, moving on. We focused on Chris's interior, the front side of his body, the chest, the anterior deltoid. Now we're gonna move to the thoracic spine, his posterior, his back, his upper back, rhomboids, traps, and then we're gonna work all the way down his back, bridging his spine with what I call the peanut. This is simply 2 lacrosse balls taped together, okay? This is a really effective means of recovery. And then of course we're gonna stretch after we mash these muscle fibers here. So Chris is gonna lay back to do this. And he's gonna start with this peanut right at the base of the neck here, okay? Above the shoulder blades. He's gonna lay back on it. He's gonna put all his body weight on it by lifting his hips in the air. Then he's gonna slowly work this peanut down his back, okay? So you go ahead and do that for me, Chris, and I'll talk you through this here. So he's gonna lay back, get that nice and centered, lift his hips up in the air, arms out to the side. Now he's gonna start rolling back and forth on this. Now there's so many different things that we can do here. He can give himself a great big bear hug, really opening up that back and forth. We can do an overhead motion here, back and forth, as we move down one rib at a time, okay? This is really gonna open him up. When we're done here, again, we'll move on to another stretch. All right, guys, now we need to get a good stretch across this upper back here, okay? So Chris is gonna be down on all fours here. He's gonna put his hand through this green band. We're gonna add a banded distraction for this stretch. He's now gonna walk himself away from the rig. When he gets into position, he's going to allow that band to pull his arm across his body, okay? Getting a really good stretch across the back here. We can even go back and forth a little bit. Add a little bit of a dynamic nature here. You can open up and then relax and let that band pull him through. Open up and now relax, Chris. Really let that band pull you through, okay? Do this for maybe 30 seconds, maybe a couple of rotations, and then finally settle into a static hold, allowing that band to pull your arm in, all right? This should be sufficient. All right, we've placed plenty of focus on the overhead archetype. We're gonna wrap things up here by working the hips, the legs, posterior chain, anterior chain, and we're gonna do that again with a banded distraction here. So first and foremost, we're gonna perform a banded posterior chain floss, okay? So Chris is going to place his left leg through that band. He's now gonna walk it out so we get some good tension on this band. He's then gonna hinge at the hip, take his hands to the floor. Notice now how his knee is bent. The leg that is in the band, he's going to bend that knee. Then he's going to allow that band to pull his leg back, and he's going to straighten that knee. Really getting a good stretch. I'm telling you, from lower back, glutes, hamstrings, you can feel this down through the arch of your foot. Really good stretch here. He's just going to go back and forth for maybe 10, 15 repetitions. And then he's going to relax. And obviously, we would do the same thing for the right leg, okay? Now, we're going to flip to the other side, and we're going to hit the hip flexor here, okay? Anterior side of his body. He's going to get that band up around his leg, this time on the right side so you guys can really see what's happening here. He's going to take a knee. The leg that's in the band is going to be on the floor, knee on the floor. And from here, he's going to slide forward, allowing that band to pull his hips in, tightening his tummy. We don't want to be overextended, really getting a nice stretch on this front side, okay? Again, I'd like to see this held for about a minute, give or take, and obviously switch into the other side. All right, guys, final stretch here before we end this episode. Again, we're sticking with the hips, and we're going to stick with the banded distraction here. We're going to really open up Chris's hip socket here. We're going to use this band, get into a hurdler stretch, allow that band to pull the head of our femur out into the hip socket, really opening him up, okay? So he's in this hurdler stretch position. Chris, move your front foot forward just a little bit. Want to maintain a vertical shin angle here. Good, excellent. Now he's just going to hang out here. We can do any number of variations here. He can take that left elbow to the floor, sinking deeper into that stretch, really opening that hip up. This is excellent. I love this stretch, okay? Back and forth. He can even drop the back knee, okay? From here, he can turn to his right-hand side to sink deeper into that stretch, okay? Very good, and relax, okay? Any number of different variations here. I just wanted to highlight a couple, okay? So these are some of the things that I recommend. We chose a handful. There's numerous different things we can do here. But remember, the goal being, at this stage of the game, after your workout, your muscles are warm, they're pliable, you can really stretch beyond your normal range of motion in time, increasing your range of motion, okay? So look forward to connecting with you again soon. Again, I am Coach John with Steadfast Barbell. Remain steadfast.